When I first went to the hospital, they told me unless I get a liver with my lungs, they wouldn't give me lungs. They said at one point, they don't do lung-liver transplants. They sent me home, and I prayed about it, and I asked for a liver so I could get new lungs as well.
Cystic fibrosis is a systemic disease, so people most often think of the lung disease, but cystic fibrosis affects all of your abdominal organs. It affects the gastrointestinal tract, it affects the liver, it affects the sinuses. And what we discovered during Andrew's lung transplant evaluation was that he had a lot more severe liver disease than was previously recognized. If he would have undergone a lung transplant alone, he probably would not have been able to have a good outcome. Usually the stress of transplant, the side effect of medications that these patients that have severe liver disease do a lot worse after transplant. So he was stuck with either a multi-organ transplant, 2 organs, both lung and liver, or probably not being offered transplant at all due to the severity of his liver disease.
Not too long after that, I went back and they said, okay, we'll get you your liver, we'll find some lungs. I waited, and every once in a while they'd call me and say, we found those lungs, we found the liver. But it wasn't the right lung and liver for me. It wasn't the right time. I feel like I was going through a process those 10 months. I feel like God was building me up. I don't think my faith ever caved in, but there was some times where I definitely may have had some heated conversations with God and said, hey, I think you have a greater purpose for me, but why aren't you giving it to me right now? Why aren't you delivering what you said you would bring to me? And I said that in good faith, knowing that he would, but I was just waiting. I know everything I want to happen in my time, but apparently a lot of it had to happen in God's time when he was ready for me and ready to see that I earned or deserved what he had for me. So, and I guess it's still happening every day. I know he still has more for me, he probably still has more for you, but it all comes in his time, not our time. It comes when we're ready for it. It's patience and it's faith. The process was quite interesting. 7 times in a row I thought they found organs for me, but they didn't. I'd show up to the hospital and they said, nope, not this time. Finally my day came and I was ready. The day after that, after my transplant, within 24 hours I walked a mile. I knew it was time for me to go back out into the world and fulfill my purpose. I knew my prayers had been met when I started walking around, and people would see me and say, you know, wow, I remember you on oxygen, and they didn't even recognize me. In fact, I remember going to drop off all my equipment that I carried with me for a couple years. I was on oxygen for 2 years. I said, I'm dropping this off for Andrew Desjardins, and they go, well, tell him I said hi. And I go, well, I'm Andrew. You can tell me you said hi. So I never imagined where I'd be, actually. I always prayed about it. In fact, I'm better off than I ever thought I could be right now. These days I'm playing in an adult hockey league and I'm coaching kids and adults. The youngest children I coach are age 6 and 7. I also coach adults who had that dream. They always wanted to play, but they never got to step on the ice and live that dream. And I love sharing that with them. I love helping them propel forward and living that dream. It's actually my way of giving back. I love sharing what I've learned with other kids. When I'm out on the ice, I push them the way I wish someone pushed me when I was a kid. And I show them the things I wish someone showed me when I was a kid and I was learning how to play. I see that today's young hockey player is someone who's got a lot to deal with, but I see that the sport takes them into another place where they're happy the way it did with me. So I love to share that with them and help them enjoy the sport more. Anything I can do to give to them. It's just so rewarding. There's any dollar value or anything I can really put on that. What I would say to someone is if they were waiting for a transplant or if they're waiting for something that they really believe in, is that just let your beliefs carry you, let your faith carry you, because honestly, you don't know what's going to happen down the road, but in those moments while you're waiting, if you have strong faith and you have belief that you're going to get there, that's the best thing you can do. It's going to make you happier during those times because it's tough. Just keep pushing. You got to push yourself every day. It's a challenge and you got to keep going and it'll come to you.